What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It is time for the roster update review for update number 5, and holy crap, it was a banger. Now, I know I've said on the last two prediction shows that, hey, it could be a big one if they want to. Actually, I think it was this week's and the one 2 times ago. I don't think the last one was set to be as big, but I was like, yo, this could be huge if they want it to, and it's just a matter of knowing like how much they want to go, or how deep they want to go. Do they want to go in, go crazy with it? Because that is something that that is at their disposal. There were a lot of candidates that could go up to diamond, especially. Like there were a good number of gold candidates on my prediction sheet. I had 12, and then another let's see, and then another 9 guys at 79, which means they were right there on the cusp. So that's pretty good. But I had 6 diamonds with 2 guys at 84.5, meaning they were like right there, including Rodon, who by the end of the week I was like, yeah, he's gonna go. And that includes, so that's only 8 right there. There's 10 new diamonds, and one of my guys that was an 84.5, and another one that was predicted for 85. They did not get it. So that's extra candidates that I wasn't even looking at super seriously this week. Although my chat was on it, and I want to give credit to them. It's a group effort here. I do the work, put in a lot of time and effort for you guys, but I couldn't be as sharp as it is or as deep as it is without my community in the Discord, in the Twitch chat, in the YouTube comments, pointing out, hey man, what about this guy? What about this guy? Because I don't get to every single thing. Sometimes I miss, and I'll just say right now, chat, you were on Katel Marte, and I was just kind of floating on him. I was like, yeah, he's been good, but no homers since the last 2 weeks. Is he hurt right now? You know, and I just was tepid on him. Chat was on there saying Katel, and he got it. But we'll get into that more. Let's go position by position and talk about it. Jacob Degrom gets another 1 point, and more importantly, his pitches get a big boost on the break and control. Long story short, they've made him as transcendent as he is in real life right now. Because here's the thing, before Outlier last week and before this boost this week, he was already great on every level. You can crush somebody in All-Star with him, and he's devastating for the folks who play on Legend. That's not me, but I've watched them struggle against him. He's even better now, and he should be. He should be super difficult, very, very hard to hit. He is, and I love that. They've turned a live series starter into somebody that we're going to be considering all year long, and I don't know the last time that happened. Garrett Cole gets nooched. I don't see where his sticky stuff per 9 went down or anything. Okay, that's my only sticky stuff joke. It was stupid, and I'm sorry. Little control boost. Okay, so did they go through control boost here? Did they go through an update? This is huge. So we saw the Degrom one. I didn't realize, because I go through the review, or I go through the roster update really quick initially on Twitch, just so that everything's not spoiled in the chat before I can see it, and then we do the deep dive. I did not notice that all these studs are getting their control boosted, and I love this. It's making them a lot more useful, and I understand that we don't use live series starters. I just mentioned how Degrom, this is the longest that I can remember a live series starter being this viable since they made a big content push in, was it 16 or 17 when they really opened the floodgates on Legends? Because I want to say 15 was just 1 legend per team. So literally 30 legends, and that's it. There was no flashback or anything like that. It was just those guys. And since then, they've obviously expanded it much, much wider. And now live series starters are useful deeper. I remember Jose Fernandez was pretty useful, rest in peace, for a good bit in his last season when he was a diamond. But it's a rarity these days, and now they're making these guys more viable. Maybe not for seasons, but at least for any sort of event that you might want to use them. I wouldn't really draft them in BR, but things of that nature. And we're seeing here all these guys are getting control boosts, and I love it. Top tier guys getting a boost. On to our next one here. Ohtani finally gets diamond. And listen, there was a big misconception in the community, and we tried to clear it up as much as we could in our circle here, in my chat, Discord, and all that, because KB Law did a great study to see how much hitting affected a starting pitching overall. And he found out it was literally 0. So it didn't matter that Ohtani keeps hitting homers and dominating at the dish. That wasn't going to help him. The key was going to be he needed to stop walking guys, and he's done a very good job of that recently. They give him a nice little boost there, plus some hit 9, and voila, he's a diamond. So there you go, folks. Hopefully you've been staying invested for a very long time. He was an expensive silver, an expensive gold. The reason I didn't talk about him this week on the roster update is because it wasn't really investable, and I try to focus on things that you can make stubs on. But he did feel like a diamond candidate here big time because he was starting to not walk guys as much. Rodon, I mentioned I had him at an 84.5, but by the time we kind of reached the end of the week, I was like, yeah, he's got to go. This is definitely one who should have been an 85 on my sheet. And then maybe somebody else could have been an 84.5, like a Jared Walsh, who was a little bit more in between. So I botched that a little bit, but we were all invested in Rodon anyway. It's not like I steered somebody away. And that's the thing, too. I'm going to have misses, but I just want to make sure that those misses aren't taking somebody off investing in somebody who then does go, because that would feel shitty, and I don't want to do that. More control boosts here. Zach Wheeler was a slam dunk. He gets his diamond. Bieber comes down. I didn't think he'd lose diamond. I think he's done enough to kind of hold that, but he comes down onto the cusp now, and when he comes back from the IL, if he doesn't pitch well, he will leave the diamond realm. Peralta gets his +1. He's sitting there right on the cusp now. Stay invested in Freddie Peralta. If you're not already, there may be an opportunity to still get in. I don't know what his price is right now. That's why I'm saying maybe an opportunity. But there should be, because usually on Friday there's a dip of guys who had some excitement that don't go to the next level. And anybody that was expecting him to get the 2 points, I think you were a little misguided in that. And now is your opportunity to get in. Another good 2 weeks here. And he's kind of like Ohtani. If he's not walking guys, he's going to get there. It's a matter of when, not if. Giolito gets nooched. So does Arias. Nola goes down. Nothing really to see there. Now this shook me a little bit, but I love it. All three guys get there. Now, I had two of the three. I had Lopez and Rogers going. I wasn't sure Alcantara was going to get there because he's been fine. He was good during the last update period, but not great. And the strikeouts weren't there, and I thought that that's what he was going to need. One thing I mentioned in my Twitch chat that kind of explains why I might have missed on him is back in the day, I used to be able to use the offline roster to do my roster predictions, and they were much more precise down to the point of what I think what guys were going to go. Because I could go in and say, okay, he needs +5 in walks, +2 in K9, -3 in hit 9. Voila, what does that deliver? Because the offline roster matched the DD one. Well, that is no longer the case. So if I had known Alcantara was this close, I might have been a little bit more in on him, but I don't think so. So it was just a miss. But again, it was not a miss that dissuaded anybody from staying invested in Alcantara. We've been invested in him for 2 months now, so nobody was jumping off the boat because I didn't have him going this week. So all three fish get it. They are all deserving, and a lot of profit in the community based off of these three. McCullers loses gold. It makes sense. His walk rate is skyrocketed back up. Stroh and Walker on the cusp now. With the way they've been pitching. Tough part is, though, neither of them really strike out many guys, so it's going to be tough to get these final 2 points. It's not impossible, and I think, with Stroman, it could be the hits and walks if he just continues to excel at those. And then with Taijuan Walker, if he gets his walks in order, and I think he actually has a lot more strikeout upside than Stroman. As you can see here, he's at 8.69, which is nice, but needs to be better. Meanwhile, he's at 7.91. That's not very good, and he doesn't miss many bats. Walker can definitely get there. Between the two, I still like Walker as a better investment because his core skills translate more to going gold. I had Molly going 79. He goes 78. Same diff. Buy the dip right now. If he goes down, we're definitely getting in on that. For me, with Molly, it's if, not when with him. Or it's when, not if, pardon me. It's when, not if. He's going to go gold this year the way he's pitching. It's just going to take a little bit more time. Heaney gets nooched. He's got some good skills. He's one of those guys who's kind of flying on the radar a little bit. Not under the radar, but I don't know, man. I feel like every time he gets going, there's a blow up or two that kind of pushes him back. You see his hit rate now. He's almost allowed a hit per inning, 68 2/3 innings, 67 hits. That's a little worrisome because he can be prone to blow ups. You see a 127 whip is a little high. So I would be careful on a Heaney investment. He's not somebody that I'm like diving head first into, whereas like Molly, I think I've got 80 of him and I'll probably get more because I'm going to buy the dip. Tony Disco, Anthony Descalfani's been having an excellent reclamation season in San Francisco. His best season yet. He's going deep into games. I think he has 2 complete games, I believe. I think both are shutouts too, or very close to it. He's just been excellent. He's going deep in the games, getting a decent number of strikeouts. That K rate could still go up very soon. 8.2 is not a bad K rate. I think he probably should have gone up a little bit here, but I wonder if going up, maybe he would have, if he had gone up in K rate, would he have automatically gone gold, and maybe they didn't want to give him a 4-point boost? I don't know. But either way, he should be firmly on your radar. Tony Disco has a great shot to go. I have Brian Reynolds's that are selling for $9.85. I don't remember putting those sell orders up, but whatever. I could have just saved those, and I cost myself 15 stubs. I don't really care. Maeda and Snell. Snell goes down. He's been pitching better of late, but takes a hit. That's kind of surprising there. But the inconsistency has been tough. So I would not invest in either of these guys to go back to gold right now. But if I were going to do in either, it would be Snell between the two. But they're both very risky. Kikuchi is somebody I'm very interested in, though. I like him as a very strong hold for gold candidate. I don't remember what his number was on the last hold for gold update list. I have a sheet now that I'm doing this year where I take every silver, every quote unquote, it's not every single one, like 85s I don't put on there, and some of the injured guys or guys who are a little bit far out I don't put on, but for the most part, virtually every silver is on there. And I give them a 1 to 10 rating on how likely they are to go gold within the next 2 updates. So let's see here. I'm getting a number. I have 150 silvers listed. They range from 0 to 10. Actually, the IL'd guys, it says -11. That's just a random number, just so that they show up at the bottom of the list there. But that's a great way to kind of see where I'm at on the next wave of guys too. Kikuchi was a 7. Now that he's up to a 77 and continuing to pitch well, he's going to be an 8 or 9 on the next update. He's definitely somebody you want to get invested in for sure. Then we got Greinke going down. Ian Anderson goes up 1. I know there's a big Ian Anderson contingent in my Discord led by Chambers of folks that are desperately hanging on every pitch that he throws. I mean, he's still pitching well, but it's been a grind. It's been a grind. Just stay invested if you're in on Ian Anderson. I don't know that I would necessarily add a ton more right now just because it's been a slog. But the people who do that, like, I'm reminded of Chris Davinski from a few years ago. Remember him? He's not very good anymore. I don't even know if he's in the majors right now. When he was pitching for the Astros, he had an opportunity to go gold as a reliever, and he was pitching so well. But he was only getting, 6 innings every couple of weeks, so the samples were small. And it was like, damn, every time he didn't go, we would just get more and more and more, to the point where when he did finally go gold, somebody had 1,000 of him. And I think Ian Anderson's going to be like that, where he's got this contingent of believers, and they're just going to keep adding every time he doesn't go. They're going to buy the dip. And then when he finally does go, somebody's going to pop off and make like 1 million stubs. Bundy down 2. He's been brutal this year. Urquidy +1. It's a slow grind. I still like him as a hold for gold. It's a long-term situation because right now you're 4 points away and the strikeouts really aren't that great. So I understand why we're gonna have to kind of wait a little bit with him. But I definitely think that he's somebody who's got an opportunity to go this year. I really, really like Urquidy's skills. He doesn't walk anybody. He doesn't have major hit issues. It's the Ks right now. If he can spike Ks, basically, who he reminds me of right now is Aaron Savali, who unfortunately just got hurt and he's going to be out. This can be, if you were an Aaron Savali guy, this can be your new guy because he's also very good. And when you watch him, you're like, he should have more strikeouts than he does because he has that kind of strikeout upside. And yet we consistently watch him fall under. But if he can just find that right sequencing to get those strikeouts up, then he's going to go gold. So I'm staying invested in him. Flash sale incoming. Alex Wood -1. Waino +1. Waino does not really have gold upside, y'all. He just doesn't have enough strikeouts. I know he's right close to a strikeout per inning. It's a bit of an anomaly, though. I'm not really sure I believe that he's going to be at or near a strikeout per inning the rest of the season. So I don't know. I don't see it right now. He's still 4 points away. That's going to take a lot. So be careful if you're invested in Waino. It's just a little sus for my taste. Luis Garcia gets neutred. He's been excellent. He's definitely somebody who could go. The one thing I would say, though, is if he doesn't turn it up soon, I think he's going to eventually switch places with Christian Javier in the rotation. They're letting Garcia go now and Javier in the bullpen. They're going to switch them in the summer at some point. I firmly believe that. Not because Garcia's bad or I think he's going to fall off, but because he's not going to throw 200 innings this year. So they can't just keep him in the rotation forever and let him get 30-plus starts. So at some point, Javier will take his spot. So if Garcia doesn't get there before that, that could be tough for us. Eflin gets neutred. Matthew Boyd goes down 1. Casey Mize gets to silver. I had that last time out, but he gets there this time with a little walk boost. I don't really see gold for him. He doesn't miss enough bats. Erod -1. He shouldn't even be a silver right now, to be honest. Kyle Hendricks neutred. Not really seeing any silver candidates here. Or, I mean, gold candidates is what I meant. Now we're in the bronze. Well, now we're looking for silver candidates. Nothing really to see here. Gomber's been pitching very well. Guys, I'm still terrified of Coors. It has nothing to do with Gomber. It's just that home park, and it scares me. And yes, he's pitching well, and he's even pitching well in Coors. Enter at your own risk. You will not find me investing in Gomber, even as a save for silver. I can't do it. My boy Montas gets a +1 despite getting absolutely blasted by Texas his last time out. If you ask me, it had to be a sticky stuff situation there, because even the rosin and suntan lotion is going to do a lot for somebody like Montas, who throws a feel pitch like a splitter. And I wonder if he just didn't have his feel, and the Rangers of all teams, worst team in the league, am I right, Colin? Absolutely toast him. So that's a bummer. I do still think he can get to silver. I still believe in the core skills, but gold is not really on my radar at this point. Cobb goes up. Cobb is a definite save for silver with a little bit of gold intrigue because he's missing a ton of bats. The big key with Cobb is going to be staying healthy at this point. That's been a challenge for him now for ever. I mean, I think for really his entire career, he's struggled to stay healthy consistently. And that would be my biggest deterrent to investing in him too heavily. But I think he's going to go silver soon and then kind of set up that gold potential. +1 for Tyler Anderson, no real gold potential there. Manoah has the skills to be a silver for sure, and he could even be a summer gold. Drew Rasmussen gets moved to starter, ? I do not know why that's the case. Did he start a game as like an opener or something? I don't quite understand that. I know that they just lost Glass now, and they are going to have to piece it together, and I could see games where like Rasmussen starts and then Feyereisen follows him for a couple innings, and they can get through with like tandem starters, but he's in the bullpen. I don't understand this. So it's a fraudulent boost because he only got boosted because he moved from RP to SP. He wasn't starting in the minors. I don't know, man. I love what SDS does with the updates, but sometimes moves like this really perplex me and I don't understand it. Logan Gilbert's been killing it lately. He started off a little bumpy, but as you see now, his whip is down to 109. A 4.50 ERA is not nearly as bad as we pretend it is. I think a lot of that is because of the fantasy world, DFS, season-long fantasy. We play that and we think 4.50 ERA, that's pretty trash. But when you really think about a 4.50 ERA, which is 6 innings, 3 runs, it's not that bad. It really isn't. You can make $10+ million a year if you're a guaranteed 4.50 ERA for 160 innings this season. I see my chat saying Wade Miley didn't go, which is kind of surprising. I agree with that. Drew Smiley, Dane Dunning, Tariq Skubal only +1. Man, I thought Skubal was going to get more love last time. He sputtered a little bit since, so now he's stuck in the bronze tier. Jake Arrieta, ugh. Joe Ross has been pitching well, dude. He dominated against the Giants there. That was a really surprising outing there because I was worried that he was going to get smoked by them. And he said, I don't think so, buddy. Cole Irvin, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to get too deep on these bronzes unless I see somebody worth discussing, like Patrick Sandoval, who has really embraced his best pitch, which is a changeup. And that's kind of the new trend, right, over the last 5 years or so. Guys saying, I don't have to be fastball heavy. I can use my best pitch 30-40% of the time. That's what he's doing with his changeup, and he's finding big results. I really like Sandoval. I think he's a decent save for silver here, even though he's 5 points away. We got Fulte, Carmart, Strip. Strip's also pitching remarkably well of late, and I like what he's been able to do. And I think I could see him getting to silver down the line too. Not really. I don't know about Gold, though. I just don't know. I think Sandoval would be a better Gold potential than Strip. All right, and then we have nothing else really to see here. Chris Flexen gets +3. He's been pitching pretty well. Maybe he could chase down Silver later. Damn, Zach Davies, no love, man. Throws 6 innings of the no-hitter against the Dodgers yesterday and gets smoked. Now, I know that's because the no-hitter does not count, but he had been pitching well, although he did get crushed for 8 runs by the Marlins his last time out, which did count in this update. So I guess that makes sense as to why we didn't see anything from Davies there. Senzatello, Abreu. Yeah, we're not really seeing too many guys here talk about. Sorry, John Gant, but you deserve this, dude. I hate to be a dick, but like, you were way over your head. All right, that's gonna be it for starters. We got 4 new guys. Nobody really worth freaking out about. All right, relievers. Now, I mentioned this in my chat. If you've been watching my channel all year, doing the investments, listening to my tips, hopefully you've got some Gallegos right now. He's 3,000. I was talking about him at base price, saying he's a no-risk investment. Just see what's up because he's got diamond skills. He's been pitching like a diamond level reliever pretty much since he got to St. Louis. And now he's 1 point away, and I'm very excited. Chad Green gets neutral. Tepera gets +2. He's a great hold for Gold right now. He's probably going to be a 10 on the next hold for Gold update sheet. I don't know where his price is right now, but he's got a great opportunity. This one's painful, y'all, because he got back from the IL, which is great because we're worried about him being on the IL too long, but he got crushed his last time. And normally I don't really freak out about that, but I know a lot of us are heavily invested in Antone, and we're not being very patient right now because of the injury and everything. And I get it. I'm right there with you. And the problem is when a reliever gets crushed, they need like 3-4 outings to counterbalance that. And I'm looking now, and he did get hit pretty hard, but it was only 3 hits in 1 inning. Not the end of the world. He still got a strikeout. He did have a walk too. But here's the thing. He goes and throws like 2 straight outings of one inning with 3 strikeouts each, and he counterbalances that. I don't think it'll take too long. You should still be heavily invested in Antone, and if there's a big dip this week, buy the dip for sure. Chris Martin's been not very good this year in 14-2. His whip's good, but he's been hittable at times. See, they counterbalanced his position change here with a big update, which they should do, because I was worried he was going to go to bronze by losing 5-6 points. Actually, he would have lost 5, so he'd have been a 71. Yeah, he'd definitely gone bronze. I'm an idiot. He was 1 point away from going bronze. So they counterbalanced that. He still gets -1 despite this upgrade because of the position change. So here's what I will say, though. When he goes back into the rotation, he's going to be right on the cusp of Gold, assuming he pitches well out of the bullpen. So Christian Javier might be a sneaky long-term get right now. Austin Adams could definitely get to Silver very soon. He's pitching very well. I'm just looking for guys I care about. Now, he's going to go up to Silver when he goes back into SP, which should be soon. So you can use this one as a sneaky get right now because this update is a nice boost. Then he goes to SP and gets 4 or 5 points. Boom, Silver. Rex Brothers gets +2. Colin McHugh, Ranger Suarez. Holy shit, Joel Payamps. I undersold him, man. I like to do these common upgrades for these relievers that are definitely pitching way over their heads, or not way over their head, way better than their card currently dictates. And he was pitching so well, as you can see here, 27 innings of really good work, that I gave him a 10-point boost, and I was like, that's pretty big. And I undersold it by half. And so all of a sudden, here he is as a 71. Now, I don't really see anything for him to, make a big move beyond this, but it is funny to see a +20. No, the position change is what moves it because he lost points just going from SP to RP. That is not true, Ribbon. So yeah, Piamps gets a massive boost. Oh, this is one to keep an eye on, okay? This is a sneaky silver right here. He's still 4 points away. If you don't follow Matt Whistler, I won't blame you. Like, he's a middle reliever that's like, okay, what, why am I worried about him that much? He had an amazing shortened season last year, 25 innings with Minnesota. And he goes out to the Giants, and I think a lot of us thought he would continue to do really well with them because, first off, he's going from going to a better park in San Francisco, going to a team that's pretty good with pitching, and he pitched so well last year with a new approach and everything. So I thought, okay, he's going to continue to pitch well. Well, he gives up 4 homers with them, and that tanks anything that he could have done that would have been good. So even though his strikeout and walk rates were pretty strong, he had a 6.05 ERA, and everyone's like, okay, whatever. So he gets moved to Tampa Bay. Now, I don't know if he was waived or traded. It was a trade, minor league trade. And I would not be surprised if Tampa Bay got the Minnesota version of Whistler. He's already pitching really well with them in 6 1/3. He hasn't allowed a home run. I mean, he was pitching well with San Francisco except for the home runs. So the bottom line is it was a small sample of ugliness. I think Matt Whistler is going to go silver. If you like those super cheap investments that can go from bronze to silver, Whistler's a good one, I think. Jackson, I'm just looking for guys that matter right now. Boxberger has been pitching well with Milwaukee. Could he go silver? He could. I would invest in Whistler over him. Trevor Richards, Cody Hoyer. Remember Cody Hoyer, how well he pitched last year? Turns out that might have just been small sample goodness there. Gregory Soto gets +2. I think Soto, well, he walks too many guys. Never mind, I don't think he'll go silver. Ugh, how tough is this one, dude? Now he's in the minors. Just brutal, dude. Just devastating. Evan Marshall, okay, yeah. Nothing else to see here. This guy should be a starter, by the way, but whatever. He got sent right back down. Brebbia's back in the cut. He's been a silver before. He's pretty good. I think he's coming back from TJ. Keep an eye on him, though. Don't go get him right now because he's going to be expensive because he's a new card. But when his price smooths out and gets down into double digits, then you can maybe invest in him as a potential silver. But until then, don't worry about it. Any new closers? No. So we got Hader, Hendricks getting nooched. Oh, they both got a little control. I like how Hader got 2. Like, we gave him a little. Chapman goes down. Kimbrel, this was a stone cold lock. He's been pitching brilliantly. Justin Mason, I'm sorry, you were right. He's awesome. He's back, dude. He's back. Like, it's so insane. He's so freaking good right now. Edwin Diaz gets nooched. Edwin Diaz has some diamond upside for sure. He's a former diamond. He's pitching remarkably well. I know we don't care about homer per 9 anymore because it doesn't matter for DD, but the fact that he's given up 0 homers, that's really good for his blow-up potential being lower. And that was always kind of the issue with Diaz, is he going to get blown up? And when he struggles, it's definitely home run related. So the fact that he has 0 homers, his skills are absolutely on point. He could get the diamond this summer for sure. Taylor Rogers gets nooched, and like, I guess I just don't really understand what the deal is with him. I put him down for a 2-point boost. I put him down for a 2-point boost last time, and he didn't get it. I guess I'm not reading his numbers right or something. I don't know. I give up on Taylor Rogers. I'm not investing in him. I don't use this card because I'm freaking terrible with it, and now I don't worry about his updates anymore. Jansen gets +1. He's not going back to Diamond this year, and if he does, he's not going back to Diamond anytime soon. Let me say that. If he does, it's going to be a long time. This one's tough, a little nooch here. I guess his Ks are down recently. I had him going gold. He's still an easy hold for gold for me. He's been pitching very well. I still don't really understand why he lost gold, but that's fine. Just gives us an opportunity to invest. Iglesias gets nooched. I've had him going gold the last 2 updates as well. Now, I'm not giving up on him the way I am with Taylor Rogers because I still think Iglesias is going to go. Stay invested in him. Castillo loses 1. I didn't realize his hit 9 was going to take such a drop. I actually had him going +1 to 79. He goes the other way, and now his hold for gold takes a hit for sure. I feel like he can only be like a 5 or 6 for me right now as far as the hold for gold meter. Mark Melanson, he just doesn't miss enough. He's not going to go gold, guys. Neris could go silver for sure. We've talked about Alex Reyes a bunch. He's not going silver till he stops walking. Somebody, dude. Can he get through an outing without walking 5 guys, you know? Romano goes up. Romano's got great silver upside. He's got gold upside, too. You can get it. This is a big-time ground floor guy. This is the basement floor for Romano. You can get in there, and he could really, really pay off in the summer for sure. Coste +1, excuse me, -1 to his Ks. And that's the thing. He doesn't K guys at the level of today's flashy relievers, despite that 100-mile-an-hour cutter, which is disgusting. He still struggles a bit as far as getting like a transcendent number of strikeouts. Like he needs to be in like the 13K9, 15K9 range to really go up. And as such, I don't even know if he gets to silver this year, let alone any sort of gold contention. All right, moving over to catcher. Lavarnway's the new catcher. Posey gets a healthy boost now. He's an 88. What a season from him. Real Muto loses 1. He's been fine, you know. Perez is on the diamond train now. He certainly has the possibility to get there this year. You can start investing in him if you'd like. Yasmani, until that average makes a real change, that he just can't get to diamond. There's just no way. And so don't even waste your time investing in him right now. Molina and Stallings go down. Stassi. Now, here's a big hold for gold for me. I love this guy. The biggest issue has been staying healthy. He's been having trouble with it throughout his whole career. That's kind of why he's been a late bloomer, because he can't really stay on the field. But when he does, my man's can hit. He's hitting very well right now. Definite hold for gold. Going to be in 8, 9, or 10 on the next list. Gary Sanchez goes to silver. That was a lock. I mean, he's been hitting so well. I don't think this is a path to gold, though, because he's 4 points away. I don't think he's going to stay this hot all year. I think this is just a hot streak from him, so don't. Nooch. +1 for Estadio. Nooch just means they got a neutral move, by the way. I just call it a nooch because I'm a dude. I'm a dweeb. I almost said I'm a dude. I'm an idiot. But yeah, so those guys got nooched. That means they had a little boost, but they also lost something, and so it ended up being even. Barnhart nooched. Barnes up 1. Looking for candidates to invest in here. We're not going to cover every single guy in extreme detail, or else these will be like 3 hours, the way they have been in the past. Stevenson kind of intrigues me, but he's 5 points from silver, let alone anything else. So, any new first baseman? No. Matty O. So I had these two both going to 90 this week, and to be honest, like when I predict somebody to go up to 90, it's a little bit of a gut feel thing. Like, are they going to push them over that threshold? And I think that they are kind of treating it like a level change, because you know when you get a gold, there's the different colored lights. There's like the purple for the lower tier diamond, the blue, and then the teal. I think it's purple, blue, teal. I think that's correct. Chat, help me out. And so I think to go to 90, they take it really seriously to go to that next level. So this puts them on the cusp, and if they keep hitting for another couple weeks, they'll be 90 plus next time. So it's not the end of the world. It's not a huge investment opportunity anymore anyway, so I wouldn't freak out too much. Gurriel goes up. Dude, Gurriel just having a great season. Walsh gets nooched. I put him as a diamond on the sheet, and I'm still staying fully invested in Walsh. Like I said, later in the week, you know, as I kind of take in more info and read stuff, I have things alter a little bit. I was more confident in Rodon than I was at the beginning of the week, and I was less confident in Walsh. I kind of was having them trade spots. So Walsh kind of became a mental 84.5 for me. Still thought he had a chance, but you see that contact versus left is just a big problem right now. And so at least we have something that we can laser focus on. He needs a few good games against lefties, and then I think diamond is coming. Alonso -1. Aguilar -1. We don't care about that. Rizzo. Yeah. None of this really bothers us. Goldie loses gold. Interesting given his name. Stupid joke. Mancini goes up 1. He's right there on the cusp, y'all. If you're invested in Mancini, just hold. Yo, this nooching is surprising. I thought Crone had a chance to actually go, and he doesn't even get anything. I had him as a goal to get in +2. I guess I didn't realize -7 against righties was coming. And I can't believe, and this is another thing about not having the front page roster to be able to edit and figure this stuff out. I can't believe that -7 against righties completely canceled out all the other stuff that he got. That's kind of surprising to me, but that's where he's at. So he's still a hold for gold. I'll probably have him as like an 8 on the sheet, 8 or 9. But this was a tough one. Well, Nooch for Hoskins, same for Zim. Votto loses one. And this is the tough part about him. He's hitting for this power, so people have him on their radar. They're like, is Votto going to go? Is Votto going to go? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, he's hitting these homers, which is great, but he's not doing the other stuff that Votto usually does. So I kind of look at that and I'm like, I don't think so. So I wouldn't really invest in him. Now, this Nooch, I know bums some folks out because one thing that we're looking for, and listen, I don't say this to be like, if I send a note, they're going to fucking do what I say, because it's definitely not like that. But when we find things that we feel like, hey, can y'all take a look at this, like the Degrom outlier, I send over a note, and they usually are pretty amenable to at least looking into it. I think our next cause celeb is going to be getting McMahon's defense boosted, because he's playing some really sharp defense this year, and that could be the key to getting him into gold. Because I think he's right there. I think he's ready to go gold. And if the defense can get in there, let's do it. Josh Bell having a rough season. Yo, Pujols, man. He's kind of out here with the Dodgers. I feel like he's in the mix regularly. First off, he's playing way more than he should. I don't understand how the Dodgers can find playing time for him. The Angels are like, hell no, dude. Dodgers like, sure, dude. You want to come and hit 6 homers for us? Fine. He's got a 115 OPS plus, y'all. He's been 15% better than league average. Hey, good for him. I love Pujols, so I'm fine with him finding some weird fountain of youth there with the Dodgers. He's not going gold, though. Mountcastle gets the big boost to silver. He also got a hot tops now. Definitely a hold for gold candidate. Be careful, though. The profile's a bit volatile. You see the strikeouts there. That's a big thing. He does strike out a ton, and that breeds volatility. So he can get hot, stay dialed in, but then when those strikeouts tick up and pitchers find a hole in his swing, he's the kind of dude that strikes out 50% of the time for 2 weeks while hitting 107. So be careful with Mountcastle. He's a risky investment, especially because he's 5 points away, but there is some hold for gold upside there. Brandon Belt gets 2 points. I love that he got the big boost against lefties because he's hitting better against them. I'd still be very careful about gold potential with him. And nothing else to see here. Moving over to second base, Semien gets diamond. We talked about it last week. He didn't quite get there, or last update. Another 2 weeks of good work. Boom, he's got it. Same with Altuve, one of the 2 guys in the Keystone combo who got to diamond this week for the Astros. Albies, hey man, don't come crying to me. Told you we're looking at a nooching at best. But he is a great diamond candidate for the long term. It just wasn't happening this week. Segura gets nooched. I don't know that Segura could really get diamond without just an uncharacteristic power surge. So I wouldn't invest in that because you're asking him to do something he doesn't really do to get there. It's just probably not going to happen. Somebody in chat earlier this week asked me like, what are Frazier's chances of going diamond? See also Segura, Gene, because they're really the same player. And I think Segura's even a little bit better, but like they're basically the same guy. And so unless he hits an uncharacteristic power surge, there's no chance. Speaking of power surge, now it's not really uncharacteristic. He's got some punch in his bat, but my man's Cronenworth is on fire lately. He gets a +2. There is a path to diamond, but it's still a long way out. And I love Cronenworth. You guys know that few people are bigger fans of this player than myself, but we're talking 3 more points for him. That power surge is going to need to last for, as long as Scopes has lasted, which has been insane. This is the longest scoping I think we've ever had. I think it's been going on for like 6-7 weeks at this point. He gets a healthy 4-point boost. I wasn't sure. I was like, is he only going to go to 79? Do I put him in gold? In the end, I just put him at 79, just saying, hey, I don't know yet. I don't know if they're going to go all the way. They went big with it. He deserves it. He's tearing the cover off the ball. Merrifield gets nooched, and that makes sense. He's been a great fantasy asset, though. Edmund goes down 1. Wong, nooched. Fletcher, nooched. Fletcher's actually back on the gold radar, at least. The start to his season was dreadful. I think like a month, maybe 6 weeks into the season, he didn't even have a single barrel yet, which means like hitting at 95+ miles an hour at a set launch angle. That's really bad. But he's starting to hit better. He's still very punchless. There is no power, but he can get there. He can get to gold without power. He's done it before. I'm not investing heavily in him, but I might start to get a few and put him off to the side on David Fletcher because he is hitting better. Chris Taylor gets snooched. That one's a little bit surprising. I think I had him for a 79 this week. Did I? Oh, I didn't have him for anything. I'm a liar. I'm a fat lying idiot. Did I? See, it's finding something for Taylor, but I don't know what. Oh, Taylor Rogers. I did a Control F for Taylor on my sheet, and I was like, what is it finding? Never mind. Brandon Lau, Wilmer Flores, whatever. Cesar Hernandez. This is kind of like a Joey Votto situation where he has a weird power surge, but none of the other stuff that we're used to Cesar Hernandez doing has happened, and thus he's not going to go anywhere. Tony Kemp, best number 2 hitter in the world. If you know, you know. He's out of his mind lately. He's been great. So he gets to silver. I think silver's his cap, but good on him. He's hitting very well. Peraza, Alberto, Profar. Nobody really. It's a bummer, man. Here's the thing. I always knew. Because Brad Miller is good for a hot streak once a year. You know, I talked about the scopening, which is the 4 to 8 week period that scope just goes off. He has it once a year for sure, sometimes twice a year. Miller gets one too. There's a Millering at least once a year. His was to start the season. He was never going to stay hot all year. He'll probably get hot again at some point though, and maybe then he can surge to silver, but it's all right. We don't really care. The reason that we need him to do well every year is to make sure that he gets some sort of Tops Now or Player of the Month card. But they brought his his Player of the Month flashback back into the game, so now we don't even worry about it. We have a Diamond Brad Miller. We're all set. And Bronze Brad Miller is a great bench bat in Battle Royale. McKinstry gets +1. Santiago Espinal gets +3. And that's it for second base. No new second baseman. Mike Ahmed. Is that Nick Ahmed's brother? And Demek Tomsha? Never heard of him. Nolan Arenado down. Ramirez nooched. Machado down 2. Donaldson down 1. A lot of dips here. Bregman will at least hold here. So he'll stay at 81 for a while. He's out for a good bit with that quad strain, unfortunately. Bryant down 2. I mean, we missed the opportunity to go diamond with him. And I don't know why they dragged their feet with him. And now, of course, he's I don't even want to say he's hitting a cold spell. He's just kind of, you know, coming back a little bit to earth, which was expected. I didn't think he was going to stay 1,000 plus OPS all year, but I still don't know why they didn't push him when they had the chance. Like, he still is having an excellent season, by the way. He just happens to be in a little cold snap recently. I guess it has been longer than I thought. He's now last 28 days, 592 OPS. So it's a little bit longer of a cold snap than I thought. But either way, Cabrizi comes with a +4. I did not see this coming. I think this is more of a, we didn't upgrade him last time, and now we're going to kind of make up a little bit for lost time. That's kind of what I'm seeing here, because this looks more like an adjustment to his full season than something that is just very recent. Like, he's been great since getting off the IL. But over the last 2 weeks, which is what this time period covers, there's been nothing particularly special. So this is a catch-up update for him, and I'm fine with it. It's good, but I just didn't see it coming because I didn't know that they were going to do that. Chapman nooched. Turner nooched. Urshela can still threaten Goldie. I know he just lost one, and it's weird to be talking about a guy who gets downgraded as a gold threat, but he's gotten back on track a bit for his season overall recently. I still think he could chase gold down again this summer. Riley loses one, down to 76 now. Now he's a good ways out from gold. That's a bummer. He was crushing the ball at the start of the year. Suarez gets blasted. This is like, he's in that Sano, Schwarber, Peterson, name all your favorite bronze BR guys. Although Schwarber should probably go silver here. I'll get to him in a moment. You're still drafting him in BR all the time. Keep an eye on Taylor Ward, folks. I like this guy a lot. Wrote him up in my watch list today at Fangraphs. Only +1 here. He's hitting very well, though, recently. Playing all the time. He's got silver upside for sure. And there's a little tinge of gold upside. Little tinge. Jonathan India +1, Luke Williams +1, over to shortstop. Who's this guy? Yo, they went big with it, y'all. Wander Franco comes in as an 80. We haven't seen this since Vlad came in as a gold. And you know what? I'm here for it. Even though they went aggressive with Vlad, and it kind of burned them because he did not, hit the ground running as a superstar immediately. They're not deterred by that, and they're still judging players off of the player themselves, not off of what somebody else did. So they see Wander, they're like, hey, one of the best prospects we've ever seen, looks ready to be dominant from day one. Let's go gold with him and see what's what. I like the aggressiveness here, and hopefully this one pays off for them. And I think it makes total sense. By the way, if you pull him in a pack today, you can get like 7-8K for him. Actually, I don't know where the price has gone since I started this update, but earlier today it was like 10K. Getting into the shortstops that we know about. Tatis up 1. Correa up 2 to Diamond. He's been excellent. Turner down. Story loses Diamond. Now, I didn't think he would. We looked at him yesterday as we were trying to find some candidates. That was another thing about this update. I knew they could go, I said upwards of 8 potential diamonds. They ended up going to 10. And I was like, they don't have to take 10 out. It's not like a nightclub where it's 1 in, 1 out type of deal. But you have to be careful of having too many diamonds or you dilute the value of being a diamond. But I thought they had some wiggle room because if they operate where they want loosely 50 live series diamonds that are active, and I stress that are active because there's a handful of diamonds that are going to stay diamond because they're injured. They're not going to take them out of the diamond, but they shouldn't really count toward the overall total. So if you looked at just the pool of active diamonds, there was some leeway to get a good handful in without taking a bunch of guys out. Story and Yelich were the 2 biggest candidates to go. I thought Story would hold because of the way he's been okay the last couple weeks. Yelich, I thought, actually had a better chance to hold because he's been coming out of his funk a little bit, but they had to hit him for what he's been doing on the season, and I totally get it. And I don't really have any issue with either of these guys coming down. Yeah, I'm looking at Yelich, Story, last 14 days, 933 OPS with 3 homers. But to this point, he'd been so rough, he has a 776 OPS, that it makes sense that they hit him here. So they had to take a couple guys out. Story and Yelich were the 2 that go out. Bichette goes up 1. He is in the diamond realm. He has the skill set to get there. You could start investing in Bichette now, if you haven't already, by the way. I know some people were in when he was like an 81 because he was 1,000 stubs, and it's a no-risk investment. Crawford nooched. Anderson down 1. Anderson going to lose gold if he's not careful. Kim's been having some clutch hits for the Padres here, so he gets +2 to go to silver. He also gets the Tops Now card. Right now, he needs an injury to find regular playing time, though. So while I do like his skills, I don't really see him with an opportunity to go gold anytime soon. So if you think like, oh, I'm gonna get in on the new player coming across from overseas, flashy skills, he's a good player, not playing enough to go gold. Plus he's 4 points away. So don't invest in Kim right now. It's too early. Polanco +2 back to silver. Nothing really to see here. Willie Castro. Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers has silver upside, y'all. Premium prospect. Health has eluded him throughout his career. He's healthy right now. He's playing. He's in Coors. That can always, influence things even more so. I think he's a good save for silver. He's 5 points away, but he can get there quickly. Because if he goes off for another 2 weeks, I think they'd push him to like a 73, 74 real quick. If it was like an obscene 2 weeks where he has like a 1,300 OPS, I think he'd go silver next update, to be honest. Let's go to left field now. We got Veerling, Nootbaar. I love this name, Lars Nootbaar. Soto -2, yikes. He's still not going to lose diamond, though, unless he just skids for like a month. I think he's going to hold firm here, even with the modest output that he's having relative to his expectations. I didn't look in on Stanton either. I didn't see him as a diamond drop. I just hadn't been paying attention to him, so he was another one who left the diamond tier. Teoscar is 1 point away, playing very well this year. You should probably already be in because I'm sure his price is on the rise at this point. O'Neill, Brantley, There's the Yelich hit, man, and he got destroyed. Like I said, he's been hitting better of late, so I thought he could avoid it. But when you add 10 diamonds, you got to be a little bit tighter on who's going to get hit. Or looser, I guess I should say. And even though Story and Yelich are kind of getting out of their funks, they've been so bad to this point that they had to go down. So I totally understand both moves. Rosarena loses gold. I will say this, though. This makes him a better BR pick. So selfishly, I'm okay with that because I love picking him. I just, when it's a gold and there's like, you know, 284s, an 83 and an 81, I know I shouldn't care about overall and I should just use guys I'm good with. But I see like some 84 reliever and I'm like, oh, I should probably take that guy over Rosarena because I can probably get a silver hitter who hits like him. But now he's that silver hitter. Rosario gets nuked, which I think is right. I was surprised. His price was like 900 something today. And I was like, are people really that confident in Rosario? Here's the thing, guys. And this is something to remember. You can have a great 2-week run that really puts you on the radar. But if it's only adding 2 good weeks to an otherwise shit season, I don't know how you think you're going to get upgraded, you know? And so another weird thing about that, though, is he hasn't even been that good the last 2 weeks. So I don't know why his price was so high. Maybe it's just residual from when he lost gold. Yeah, I see chat there saying that he's going to be a good, Rosarena is going to be a good update to go back to gold. I completely agree. Benintendi gets +2. He's on the gold tier now, or on the gold cusp, I should say. But how much longer is he out with injury? Let me check that real quick because that's going to determine how interested we should be right now in Benny. Benny fractured right rib on June 14th. So he's eligible to get off today or yesterday, I guess, technically. But we'll see. I don't know if it's going to be a minimum stay. Fractured rib sounds pretty serious. So I'd be careful investing in Benny right now. That's a tough injury that could affect him when he gets back even. It's one of those things that he could come back. And mentally, I think when somebody comes back from injury, we're like, okay, he's 100%. Which I understand the inclination to think that, but it's not true. They're not 100%. Guys can come back at 85%, 90%. We don't know. And so you have to be careful with something like this. Something in the midsection could really affect his power. I'd be very careful investing in Benny until we see him healthy and hitting again. And even though that would likely wait to a point where his price would go up, I would still take that more so than investing now and possibly holding the bag on somebody who just doesn't do anything the rest of the year. Fam -1, Gurriel -1. Damn. Gurriel's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. He's like getting there, but he's not. And he is. He had a grand slam yesterday. I'm like, I don't know. I loved Gurriel coming into the year, so I'm disappointed that he's been struggling for sure. We knew Schwarber was going silver. I didn't think he'd get 8 points to go to gold because he only hits one side. And that's why he's not going to go gold. But he is at 76 silver. He can maybe rise even a little bit further in silver, but he's still a BR god either way. Rojas is a nice silver. Rojas has some long-term gold upside as well. He's got a dynamic profile. He can do a lot at the dish. You can ground floor him right now too. Nooch for Upton. Dickerson gets hammered. Calhoun gets hammered. Chas McCormick in the cut. He gets +2. McCormick's playing time is going to be pushed. It's really tough with Brantley back now. I know Tucker was on the IL for a little bit, but I think it was like COVID, so it wasn't even really an injury. So I just don't know where McCormick's going to play right now to even threaten. Like, he's an interesting bat. Yeah, Tucker was on the COVID list. So I don't really see much here with Chaz. Corey Bird is the added center fielder. Don't know who that is. A little nooch for Acuna. He's still a god, though. Honestly, this is amazing because the numbers versus lefties help his card, and the vision, who cares? Unless you use outer PCI, vision doesn't really matter. Buxton up 1, but back on the IL with a broken hand. So sad. -3 for Bellinger. Bellinger takes a big hit here. If you're somebody like me who has not finished the Dodgers yet, this is a big boon for us because his price is going to come. It's already come way down today. It's going to keep coming down. Laureano gets there, and here we go with the triple center fielder diamond. Now, like I said, my chat put me on the Katel Marte train and said, hey, you missed somebody here. You got to get Katel. And I was still a little tepid because of the power. And as you can see, he even lost 4 in power against righties, but his contact was so good. They also threw a little discipline his way that he got there. So good on my chat for putting me on that because that was a miss for me. Starling Marte was somebody I'd been investing in and just kind of waiting. He had enough this week. I didn't know that his discipline was going to get such love. +13, that put him over the hump. Laureano was off the radar right now. He was still an investment that I had from earlier, but I didn't realize that he was doing some things that were worthy of getting him to diamond this week. So I didn't even put him on my list. I had 8 diamonds, and I didn't even have Laureano on there. But I'm with it, man. All 3 of these guys are paying off big dividends for a bunch of people. Grisham gets nooched. Said goes to gold. We thought he might get there last time with the big Adolis Garcia level upgrade of going bronze to gold. They didn't go for it, but he plays another great 2 weeks and he goes past the 80 threshold into 81. Could he get diamond? With the skills that he's shown this year and the talent that he's had, he absolutely can get diamond. Now, I think we're going to need another 6 weeks of premier play to get there. It's going to take a while, so that's 3 updates. But Said is absolutely on the diamond radar now, which is insane to say because how many of you even knew who Cedric Mullins was coming into the season? Don't lie. Don't lie. Brian Reynolds was a lock. The market was already very hot on him. Tapia comes in. Let's go. This was one that I'd been kind of waiting on, and I wasn't sure. Can he get there without the power? Boom, he gets there. Let's go. We cash in. Hayes down. Daza up 1. Pilar down 1. Dubon nooched. Duggar up 2. Duggar's got great silver upside. He's playing very well right now, playing every day. He can go silver for sure. Mouse Straw +1. Badu +2. And Lagares +3. Big deal. Betts also goes under 90. Again, I don't have him either. So this is huge news for me. Selfishly, I love this because these guys are going to become much more affordable. I still need Trout, though, so God knows when I'm ever going to finish the collection. But great news, great news. Cruz up 1. You know I'm not investing in him for diamond anymore. I don't care what he does. I've played that game too many times. +1 for Tucker. As I mentioned, he's off the COVID IL. Speaking of Adolis, he gets nooched, but he's sitting firm at an 81. He just keeps playing well, by the way. -1 for Avi and Myers. I still like Avi for gold potential, but not until he starts hitting more with his batting average. I just don't think he's going to get there with his inept batting average against righties. You see he gets a -5 here. So that's just something to key in on. When you see Avi start to string some hits together against righties, then you can start investing. But until then, I would back off. Myers he'll flirt with gold at some point this year too. He'll get hot again as long as he stays healthy. Duvall, I really like Duvall. I've been a Duvall fan dating back to his days in Cincy. I feel like he's an underrated kind of guy. But the problem is he's hitting 216 with a 262 OBP. He's got great power, but that's really it. So I don't think that we should necessarily be looking at him to get those final 3 points. Blackman down to 77 at this point. It's a tough scene for him. Harold Ramirez gets silver. And if Harold Ramirez continues to hit for power, he's very much a gold candidate. He's going to play every single day in Cleveland. They have no business not playing him. And he's got a great shot to get there. Santander gets blitzed here, -3. I did not see that coming. I had not been paying attention to Santander. I had him as a decent hold for gold candidate. And to be honest, I hadn't checked in on him for a while because the last time I did the update, he was hitting well. I had him as a 7 on the update. He's obviously going to go down to a 3 now because he's 5 points away. So that's unfortunate if you were hanging on to Santander. Same with my boy Carlson. He gets freaking smashed here, and he's just struggling a little bit right now. He's still, a good candidate to get back to silver. I still think there'll be a period at some point in the summer where he threatens gold, but you do not have to be invested in Dylan Carlson right now. +2 for Kirilloff, well, +1 for Larnach. The two new rookie Twins have been playing well. They could both get to silver at some point this year, to be honest. Hayward loses 2 because his batting average is in the toilet. And Gerardo Parra's back in the cut. Baby Shark back. And that's it for the roster update number 5. It was an absolute banger. SDS freaking killed it, y'all. Listen, I'm sorry if your gold that you wanted to go didn't go. You know, if you're Trey Mancini or something like that, or Matt Barnes, although I didn't really think Matt Barnes was going to get there. He was an 84.5. But hopefully you got something to hit, because they cast such a wide net this week with 10 new diamonds and a bunch of new golds that if you didn't get anything, I wonder what you're doing, to be honest. I don't mean to be rude about it, but it's like we're putting the info out there, and a lot of guys that we've been hot on now for weeks went through. So hopefully you cashed in. Buy the dip on some of your guys that didn't quite go, like Tyler Molly. We got another update coming out in 2 weeks, and we're going to stay invested here because, listen, I spent some money early in March or April, whenever the game comes out. April this year, March last year. I spent some money opening week because I wanted to buy packs right away. But once that first update comes, I'm done putting money in the game the rest of the year because I don't need to. Because you can invest in stubs and you don't have to put money in. And you can be no money spent from day one, to be honest. I just like to jumpstart my team. Part of that's being on stream and I want to open some packs and stuff like that. But you can easily go no money spent from day one just with stuff like investing and flipping and the opportunities that SDS gives you to get cards, sell them, and build your collection. So don't ever tell me this game's pay to win, because you're dead wrong. If you're investing in here, you can have your whole collection done, without putting a single dime into the game. And I know the next question is, well, then why don't you, Paul? I said, because I'm lazy, okay? And I don't do enough flipping, and I don't invest enough. But it's because I'm doing the work for you guys. So I'm lazy on my own account, but I'm doing the work for y'all. So thank you so much for watching. As always, we do this on Twitch every other week, 2 p.m. Central, twitch.tv/sport. Come through if you're watching this on YouTube, especially if you're watching it on Friday. It's 3:43 Central right now, and we're going till 2 a.m. Central. So if you see this on Friday evening on YouTube, come on by. We're playing something. But thank you so much for watching.